Hey there, everyone. Welcome to the Bird's Nest Podcast. I'm Joe Donahue. Thank you so much for joining us. In Olympic action today, we had more history made for Team USA, as well as elsewhere in the Games. And we're actually going to start with the most historic medal today. And this came in the men's giant slalom event. This had a very strong chance of Switzerland sweeping the podium, and in fact, two Swiss athletes claimed silver and bronze. Marco Odermatt took the silver medal with a 2-minute 25.58 second finish time, while Loic Meyer took bronze with a 2-minute 26.17 second finish time. So who got the gold? Was it an American? No. The Americans didn't finish higher than 17th in this competition. Was it Johan Osflett-Klabo? Nope. He did cross country and isn't in this competition. So who was it? Well, it was Lucas Pinheiro Broughton, who finished with a 2-minute 25.00 second finish time. So why was this particular medal historic if it was somebody completely different? Well, setting aside the fact that it did kind of disrupt that Switzerland clean sweep, the fourth place finisher was also a Swiss athlete. Lucas may have been born in Norway, but for personal reasons, he was actually representing Brazil in these Olympic Games. And what does that mean? Well, Lucas is the first medalist coming from not just Brazil, but from all of South America in Winter Olympics history. So he absolutely made history with that 2-minute 25 second finish time. For the first time ever in Winter Olympics history, Brazil's national anthem was played. And for the first time ever in Winter Olympics history, a South American country was represented on the podium. And this actually begs an important question. How do athletes from these areas, especially these areas that have warmer climates, train to compete? I mean, Brazil isn't exactly known for its colder climates. Well, the same could be said for many other sports and many other countries, and sometimes the IOC will step in and offer scholarships to athletes to help support their competition training. The International Olympic Committee allocates $650 million over the 4-year period between Paris 2024 and LA 28 for Olympic solidarity, which among other things includes scholarships and direct athlete support, so that athletes from areas with more need can have every opportunity to compete as areas with less need. More than $12 million was distributed across 449 scholarships for the Milano Cortina Games, and this included Mexico's Donovan Carrillo, who talked about what it was like preparing to compete in the men's figure skating competition with this particular scholarship.
That was just a game changer for me. It gives me the possibilities to keep pushing myself, but also in better conditions. As you know, in Mexico, it's a bit challenging to find ice rinks to develop my skating. So in the last 2.5 years, I've been training in Toronto, which it's one of the best places to skate in the world because there's a lot of ice, there's a lot of great coaches. And in order to have access to that conditions, this scholarship was very needed and very useful. So I could have access to all these great conditions, and I honestly feel I'm here today talking with you guys after skating almost clean free skate just because of this scholarship. I started skating on a public rink, and the conditions of the ice was not the ideal. And then that rink closed, and I had to move to Lyon to a different rink, but this rink was in a mall. So I had to manage to skate around the couples, skate around the people that was learning to skate, and do my programs with the music from the while the music from the ring was playing. So it was very challenging in so many ways. Those are some of that I can remember now. But I never thought my dream was impossible.
Carrillo also talked about how he handled his free skate competition. And with the stunning and heartbreaking performance by Ilya Malinin still fresh on everyone's mind after last night's competition, Carrillo walked us through what he was experiencing in that moment.
I always saw myself competing in these games. I never had any doubt. I was sure that I was going to be here. On the short program, I had a mistake that cost me a lot in points, and points are very important for us. So for the free skate, I just tried to reset myself and start from scratch. Do not care about the short program and just focus on the moment. And I feel worked pretty well. I honestly feel my result could have been different with a stronger short program, but all the athletes, we think the same. We always think in the best possible scenario and try to imagine what could happen if I should have done this or that. But at the end of the day, I'm very happy with the competition result. Of course, yesterday was crazy. Honestly, for everyone who was in the audience watching the event, we didn't know what was going on. Like you said, it was so unexpected in so many different ways. But I honestly respect Ilya so much. He's such a great athlete, and he works so hard. So it just happened. You know, sometimes athletes struggle, and that's normal. That's a part of the sports life. And I wish him the best, not just here in the games, but also in his career. I know he'll go super far and he'll build from this situation. And I, of course, congratulate Mikhail Shaidorov. He totally deserved to be the Olympic champion. He did very well yesterday. And to put Kazakhstan in the map and giving his country the first gold medal in figure skating, it's such an important and big thing. And of course, I wish Yuma and Kao the best, because they also are very strong skaters. And I always try to learn from all of them.
So athletes around the world have the chance to compete in these games, and the IOC provides strong support to athletes around the world to give them the chance to do so on a level playing field. And this can lead to some incredible performances in the field of play, and can, with the right circumstances, lead to some medals like Lucas's earlier in the day. As of this morning, 2 gold medalists, 1 silver medalist, 4 bronze medalists, and 20 other top 8 finishers in these games benefited from these Olympic scholarships. So hopefully that gives you some insight on the world stage impact of these games and how the IOC helps athletes get ready to hopefully qualify for the Olympics. But how did Team USA do? Well, much better than yesterday. Team USA's strong performances came early with the women's dual moguls. We saw earlier in these games the duo of Liz Lemley and Jalen Koff, and they brought home gold and silver in the women's moguls earlier in these games. So it shouldn't come as a surprise that Lemley and Koff medaled again in the dual moguls iteration. Koff added another silver to her hardware collection. This is her third in 2 Olympics, finishing 5 points behind Australia's Jakara Anthony, who got the gold in the big final. For Lemley, she earned the bronze this time. She was just 1 point better than Frances Perrine Lafont in the small final in the dual moguls iteration. But the big medal heavyweight came later in the day on February 14th with the return of Jordan Stolz to the ice for the men's 500-meter speed skating competition. Stolz had a tall task ahead of him. In all of the speed skating events to date, you had to set an Olympic record to even think about medaling. This was true today as well. Canada's Laurent Dubreuil set an Olympic record in his run of 34.26 seconds, and he was just a few skating pairs ahead of Stolz. Stolz was also competing against his skating partner from the 1,000 meter, Yenning de Beau, who was definitely stiff competition for Stolz. So Stolz had to beat de Beau in the race and set an Olympic record in the process. Well, NBC commentator Joey Cheek said on the broadcast that, quote, "You just don't want to go head-to-head with Jordan Stolz. You're seemingly never going to beat him." And he proved right. Stolz seemed comfortable and relaxed going into the competition, and it paid off. He was able to do just that, set an Olympic record by a foot, with a record time of 33.77 seconds to get the gold. And this was a historic finish for Stolz. He's just the second American to win gold in both the 500-meter and 1,000-meter races in the same Olympic Winter Games. Eric Heiden last accomplished this in 1980 in Lake Placid, while Bonnie Blair is the only American woman to do it. She did it twice in 1992 and 1994. Yenning de Beau got silver with a 33.88 second finish, and Dubreuil settled with the bronze. Now, there were 5 other medal events today that we haven't yet talked about, and the US didn't medal in any of them. Some, they weren't even close. Team USA did have a top 5 finish in the women's 4 by 7.5 kilometer relay, but the top 3 places went to Norway, Sweden, and Finland in that order for those skiers. These were long races. Norway's gold place finish time was 1 hour, 15 minutes, 44.8 seconds, while Sweden had a 1 hour, 16 minute, 35.7 second time. That was what was good enough for silver. Finland's 1 hour, 16 minute, 59.5 second finish time was good enough for the bronze. We also had a local athlete competing in the men's 1500 meter short track speed skating B final. Andrew Heo competed in the tournament style competition, and he was able to qualify for the semifinals. Unfortunately, Heo was unable to qualify for the A round, where the medals were going to be awarded, but the Warrington, PA native was able to skate his way to a 2-minute 34.460 finish in the 1500 meter B final. Gold went to the A finals top finisher Jen van Vliet. The Dutch skater had a 2-minute 12.219 second finish time. South Korea's Daewon Hwang grabbed silver with a 2-minute 12.304 second finish time, and bronze belongs to Roberts Kruisbergs of Latvia with a 2-minute 12.376 finish time. In the women's biathlon 7.5 kilometer sprint, Norway's Maren Kirkeid took the gold with a 20-minute 40.8 second finish time, while France's Océane Michelon got the silver with a 20-minute 44.6 second finish. France had a double medal event in this particular event today. France's Lou Jean Monod probably could have taken the gold, but had a shooting penalty for missing a standing shot. She wound up having to settle for bronze with a 21-minute 4.5 second finish time. In women's skeleton, Austria's Janine Flock took the gold with a 3-minute 49.02 second time across her 4 runs, and Germany continued to dominate the podium, with Suzanne Kreyer in silver with a 3-minute 49.32 second finish across her 4 runs, and Jacqueline Pfeiffer had the bronze with a 3-minute 49.46 second finish time across her 4 runs. And in one of 2 Valentine's Day adjacent stories, the World Anti-Doping Agency was on site monitoring the men's ski jump competition. They were checking to make sure that athletes were not injecting their, shall we say, male parts with hyaluronic acid or similar substances, which would have had the effect of qualifying them for larger suit sizes, which could create a sailing effect. Now, every athlete has denied that this practice exists, and there were definitely no incidents in these games. Slovenia's Doman Prelc got the gold with 301.8 points across his 2 jumps. Silver went to Japan's Ren Nikaido with 295 points across his 2 jumps, and Kasper Tomaszak of Poland got the bronze with a 291.2 point score. So that brings us to today's medal table, and Team USA still sits in 3rd in the medal count, but it was buffered by its 3 medals today, so it broke the tie with Japan. Team USA is just 1 medal behind Italy and 3 medals behind Norway. But there were still plenty of strong competitions today from our American Olympians. We had 2 curling wins today, one from the men's team, which defeated Germany 8-6 to pull to 500 on the round-robin competition, and the women's team defeated Japan 7-4 to improve to 3-1 in the round-robin competition. Both competitions still have some time left to go. The women are doing a little bit better in the standings in their event. They are just 1 place in terms of win percentage behind first place in their competition. The men still have a little bit of work to do to be able to rise in the rankings. So we will definitely see what happens. And in men's hockey, Team USA played Denmark, and despite falling into a 2-1 hole after the first period, they were able to rally to a 6-3 victory over Denmark. And the men's competition is still in preliminary rounds, but Team USA is unbeaten after 2 games. So that's the action of today, and it definitely sets up some solid competitions tomorrow. So what am I going to be watching for? Well, women's giant slalom is going to be happening early in the day. American Michaela Schifrin will be hoping to get her first medal in the Olympics since 2018. Tomorrow is her last shot at getting a medal in these games. Mixed snowboard cross is also happening tomorrow, too. Definitely an interesting event, and we'll see how Team USA fares in that competition. And we'll see if the men's curling team is able to stay on the winning side of the standings and continue to rise in the rankings in their round robin competition as they take on Sweden. So that's it. And as always, oh, wait, that other Valentine's Day adjacent story? Well, I'm just going to let this exchange between the AP's Graham Dunbar and IOC spokesperson Mark Adams speak for itself.
Rule 62 of the Olympic Charter says there must and shall be a condom story. Is it just, a must-have or a nice-to-have? Do they just not order enough? Because obviously there's, economies being made all around the place. But is there a new supply coming in?
All I would say was that it clearly shows that Valentine's Day is in full swing in the village, and I don't think I can add very much more to that. As you say, it is Rule 62 of the Olympic Charter that we have to have a condom story, but I think 10,000 have been used, so 2,800 athletes. You can go figure, as they say. Okay.
And with that, let me know what you think in the comments below. What are your thoughts about today's Olympic action, and what are you excited for tomorrow? Let me know. And thank you so much to everyone for tuning into the Bird's Nest podcast. You can support the Bird's Nest podcast by liking and subscribing to Bird's Nest Media right here on YouTube, as well as by sharing to your social media pages. You can also find us on SoundCloud, iTunes, Amazon Podcasts, Spotify, the Odyssey app, and iHeartRadio, pretty much anywhere you get your podcasts. Please visit birdsnestmedia.com for additional Eagles and NFL coverage and Olympic coverage. And that's also where you can subscribe to our Substack to get these updates delivered directly to you. And if you feel so inclined to support us in a different way, you can find the link to our Patreon in the description below or at birdsnestmedia.com. Thank you so much to everyone for tuning in. And let's go Eagles, and let's go Team USA.